In today's tutorial, we'll show you how to get a bright white print on a black t-shirt and how to cure it. Coming up. What is up, gang? Matt with Mikey Designs here. Let's dive right into that tutorial. Okay guys, in order to get a bright white print on a black t-shirt, the shirt that we do have that we are using is a next level t-shirt. I'm just going to go ahead and load it up on the pallet as usual. And we are using the shop known print. We're using a 195 mesh with our Epic Amazing White Bright by Willflex. This is our go-to ink. And essentially, if you want a nice bright white print, you just print, flash, print with your white. We coated these screens 1-on-1. Again, we're using a 195 mesh. The brighter you want your white print, the lower mesh you'll use, but you'll end up using more ink. We tend to like to stick to the higher mesh counts because we're not using as much ink, and you're still gonna get a bright white print and it have a little bit of a nicer feel to it. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and flood it using a fairly upright position. I tend to like to do a push stroke, and you just want to make sure you completely clear your mesh. As you can see here, our mesh is nice and clear. And then there is our first print. As you can see, it's a little marbled, and that's to be expected because you're kind of pressing the ink down into the fibers of the shirt. We're going to send this over to the flash, and then we're going to go ahead and print it again. Okay, we went ahead and flashed our ink. Nothing is coming up on my finger, so I know it's ready to go. It still has just a slight bit of tackiness. You don't want to cure your ink. You don't want to flash it too long. Otherwise, when you do your top print, that top print will wash out over time. So we're just going to give it a flood, and then we're going to give it just one good firm press. Let's go ahead and try a second one, because I see like it looks like it hadn't cleared quite completely. Now it's nice and cleared, and we have ourselves a nice white bright print. And again, this is using a 195 mesh. Let's see if I can get it focused a little better. There we go. And that's about it. I mean, just do a print, your first print, give it a few 2 or 3 hits until your mesh completely clears. Because we were using a lower mesh, it is a little harder to clear. If you're using a 110, a couple hits or maybe even a hit will clear it. Just depends on how firm you are. If you're using a manual, an automatic probably would clear it in just one hit because it can put more pressure down. Then you flash it, and to give it one more hit, you just want to make sure you clear your mesh. And there you go, guys. I'm going to go ahead and take this off of the pallet and toss it through the conveyor dryer. And to cure your ink, we tend to like to run ours somewhere around 350, just to make sure it completely goes through, making sure the ink really completely goes through the entire layer of film, curing it completely. And here we go. It's a nice bright print. As you can see, I can stretch it, doesn't crack, and we got ourselves a nice bright white print. The key to getting a nice bright white print on a black t-shirt is to use a lower mesh screen, either a 110, 156, 195, even a 200. It just depends on how much pressure you're putting down. Your squeegee angle will determine how much ink you're actually putting down. Give it a couple hits, flood it, hit it a couple, 2 or 3 times until the mesh completely clears and you're putting that ink into the fiber of the t-shirt. You don't want to press too hard so that way you're squeezing the ink through the shirt down onto the palette. Go ahead and flash that afterwards. Once you flash it and it's nice and tacky, there's nothing coming up on your finger, be sure not to over flash it. Otherwise, when you do your top print, that top print will wash out. Once you flash your underbase or your first hit of ink, go ahead and hit it again. Sometimes hitting it once will work. You just have to keep an eye on your mesh. Make sure all that ink has completely cleared that mesh. If it hasn't, go ahead and hit it again until it's completely cleared. The higher the mesh, the harder it's going to be to clear it. And I hope this helps you guys. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, even if it's just a hello. Don't forget we're an official rep for Catspit Productions, so if you need screen printing supplies or equipment, use our promo code Mikey Designs at catspitscreenprintsupply.com. Also, don't forget that we host a live show on Monday. It's a little Q&A for screen printers. We bring up certain topics. Also, it's a lot of fun for Shannon the Shop Gnome, myself, and everybody that tunes in. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later.